Hello everyone, and welcome back to the screencast series of Quick Start Guide for Asset Administration Shell. We are in part 2 of the screencast series that is nothing but in the data consumer's perspective. So in the last two videos, we got familiar with this diagram that is nothing but how to retrieve the asset related information using the standard API operations of IDDA specifications. We got familiar with different terminologies of interfaces such as discovery, registry, and asset administration shell and submodel repositories. In the last video, we focused on first three calls or operations in retrieving the asset related information. That is nothing but how to use the asset ID to retrieve the shell ID first, then to use this shell ID to interact with the registry, asset administration shell registry, and to get the location or the AAS endpoint, and in the end, to use this AAS endpoint to get the final asset administration shell object. Now, in this video, we are going to focus on how to access the submodel of this asset administration shell. So to proceed ahead, we are going to use the same setup that we used in the last video. So again, we have the registry and the repositories with the help of ASX server. I already have the shell descriptor and the submodel descriptor with me. The repository consists of three shells, including the my car asset administration shell here. And as we saw last time, we use this get asset administration shell descriptor by ID operation with the help of AAS identifier to retrieve the asset administration shell descriptor payload. And with the help of this descriptor payload, we found out the AAS endpoint or the location of this asset administration shell. Now, we can use this endpoint to access the asset administration shell as we just saw here. So the prerequisite here is that the repository should be running and I should have access to this repository. Now, as we can see that I can access this my car asset administration shell object or the JSON serialization of this object. I can have a list of submodel references here and so on. Now, moving ahead to access the submodel. So in this step, next step, we want to basically access this digital nameplate submodel of this my car. So there are two ways to access this submodel using the standard APIs. So one way is basically uh, in this asset administration shell, we have already received this, my bad, we have already received the identifier of the submodel. So we can make use of this identifier and make a call to the submodel registry and get the submodel endpoint and eventually use the submodel endpoint to get the submodel object and then this further the submodel elements, just like we did in with respect to the asset administration shell. The second way would be if we have a closer look into uh, the asset administration shell um, descriptor payload. I have opened this payload from the specification here as well. So if we have a look here, so this payload consists of the submodel descriptor as well. And this submodel descriptor in turn consists of the endpoint for the submodel as well. So if we have a look into the output that we got in the second step of retrieving the second step or second the call to the asset administration shell registry, we can see that here in the here we have the second part of the payload. We have the submodel descriptor, which consists of endpoints, and this is nothing but the endpoint to my submodel. So if I copy this and if I paste this in my browser, I can simply access the submodel that I need. Again, the prerequisite is that the submodel repository should be running and I should have access to it. And as I can see, I can access the complete JSON serialization of this submodel that is nothing but the digital nameplate here. And if we have a closer look into the endpoint, this is nothing but the complete URL of the submodel using the superpath here. Now, going back to the submodel repository and the location. So this is nothing but the host and port of the repository. And here I have opened the Swagger UI documentation of the same submodel repository here. So as we can see, the Swagger UI lists all the API operations of this submodel repository, and we can try any one of it. It consists of various serialization modifiers such as value only, metadata, and so on. Um, the detailed video or the detailed information about this has been covered in one of the videos in the data provider series. So if you are interested in the data in using the serialization modifiers, then do visit that video as well. Yes, so this was all about how to access the or how to access the submodel related information uh, from using the standard APIs. So thank you so much. And with this, we come to the end of the screencast series. If you are interested in more such videos, then do let us know. We will come up with the interesting topics as well. Thank you.